Good afternoon, friends. New day in the shop, new bike on the lift. Well, technically it's not a very new bike. This is a bike that's been on the channel a few times. You may remember the 1979 FLH that I was working on last year, maybe a little longer than that ago. The bike came in and it was this teal, green, and white, and I changed it over to all black tins, took it on a test ride, did a bunch of things to it, changed the wheels out, the exhaust, kind of customized it. Well, that motorcycle actually ended up with a buddy of mine, and he took the bike and took it to a whole new level. So we'll go ahead and show you the bike and kind of where it's at and talk about what's happened with it since it left me. Walking around the bike, you can see this thing is completely different. And you've probably seen it a couple of times on the channel in different shorts and different things that it's changed quite a bit. We'll start at the front of the bike and we'll go over everything. The bike has been changed over to a 21-inch wide glide wheel. It's been cleaned up quite a bit and has been customized. Now, this setup started last year shortly after my buddy got the bike. One of the issues that it had at that time was the engine was losing oil pressure. And you may remember that video where we tore the engine down to show you what was going on with it and why it was losing oil pressure. Well, my buddy had a pretty fresh engine in another bike that he wasn't going to build. So we decided that it'd be a good idea to swap engines. Once we pulled the engine, we decided that, this bike probably should be cleaned up, frame should be painted, and this thing should be completely rebuilt once again. So we tore this bike down to nothing. Took it all down to the frame and bare bones everything. At that point, my friend decided that the front wheel needed new spokes because they were crusty and gross. He painted the hoop and the hub was machined, so it didn't have the secondary flange on it and was cleaned up quite a bit. So now it's got a 21-inch wide glide. The lower legs were cleaned up and then they were finished in a matte style finish. Everything else from here up has been the same. The bars were changed out. The controls were changed out. Obviously, you see the frame has been painted. The engine is a totally gone through, cleaned up, rebuilt engine, and this thing is supposed to be super well built and ready to rip. My buddy has opted to put on an SU carburetor, so that's another addition that's been made to this bike. And of course, we've got our Heckman Customs kicker here. The transmission is the original transmission to the bike. It was a good transmission. It just needed to be cleaned. The FL style battery box was removed and a chrome FX style battery box was put in place. As you can see, the exhaust has been changed out too. This originally, when I had built it, had that 2-to-1 system. My buddy decided that it'd be better and sound better to have these little drag pipes put on. He has gone through and put lower shocks on this, and you can see the bike has a nice line to it now. And then it's running a Sportster rear wheel with the GMA style brake, some custom adjusters. The fender has been swapped out and bobbed. There's a set of tanks that need to go on it yet that are actually pretty cool. The plan from here is to run an open belt primary. This will no longer have a electronic starter. It'll be kick only. We need to weld a floorboard tab on yet. That's on order. Once that's done, the floorboards will be put back on. The tanks will be put back on. Oil lines will be ran. And then primary drive will be set up. Rear chain put on. No front fender. Obviously the headlight's missing, so that'll be put in too. So there's a few things we need to do yet, and then it goes off to another friend's shop to be wired and then gone through, and it should be back on the road shortly. As you can see, the bike has been totally transformed. It's a new machine. It's not exactly how it left the shop when I, sold it to my buddy. Obviously, he put his own custom touches on it and made it his own motorcycle, and it looks really good. Once we get this together, you'll see how it looks. It's got this old school kind of ratty custom flair to it, and I really dig it. So this is the bike we've been working on slowly, trying to get it together. I also have my 66 that's going to start in the process of being put together shortly as well, and I'll film that too. But for today, him and I are working on this bike. We're trying to get this thing buttoned up so we can get it to our buddy's shop and then have him wire it. Well, friends, I wanted to give you a quick update on the 1979 FLH, show you what has happened with it and what it's become, and just kind of give you some insight on where it's going to go from here. Of course, as always, if you like the video, feel free to give it a like. If you would, share the video with your friends. Show this series to other people that are maybe like-minded or interested in old shovelheads. I know that bike build was a lot of fun for me, and I did a lot of different things to it, and it was cool to, put it together the way that I had it, and of course, the way it looks now is even cooler. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. I've got a lot of things in the works, and of course, if you don't want to miss any of them, you'll have to be subscribed. Well, friends, that's it for this one. We'll catch you next time.